What's going on, y'all? I'm here to talk about the really cool buffs and changes I've made to Pecharunt in my ROM hack, Pokemon Scrambled Scarlet. If you've never heard of this before and you're new here, shout out to you, and I'm talking to you specifically. Whoever clicked on this video and is brand new, shout out to you, alright? Stay tuned, stick around, I've got some really cool stuff that I'm sure you'll like to see. If you were expecting some type of competitive analysis, I'm sorry, that's not what this is. It's talking about the buffs and changes in my ROM hack. And if you're curious about how this ROM hack is balanced, which I'm assuming you would be looking at all these new moves and all this other crazy stuff going on, I would highly recommend pausing the video. Don't click off because it'll mess up the watch time. You can check out the other links later after you're done with the video. Just pause it and give the bullet point description of a little read. Skim it, whatever, be as thorough as you want to be, of course, but it'll answer a lot of your questions and give you a lot of really important, I would say critical background information to understand my approach with this ROM hack and just the way things are balanced, the way things work, all that stuff. So yeah, give that a look, and then when you're done with the video, you can check out the playlists in the description, join my Discord, I've got live progress updates, and you can click the Google Sheet when you're done with the video, and you can check out all of the important move buffs and changes, which are all organized for your convenience. So yeah, with all that being said, Pecharunt, this guy, I had to remove some of the soul from the stats. I'm sorry. I kept the 8s, which is the reason. I mean, the reason they have 8s is because the toxic chain is like an 8. And I think also I guess their body is kind of shaped like an 8 when they're not closed up. And then I think there might be some more significance to it, but that's all I know of. There might be some more like mythological significance of the number 8. Not that I know of though. Regardless, I still kept the 8 theme, right? It's just instead of all 88s, it's all ending in 8. So yeah, I wanted them to be a bit more offensive, but not completely offensive. I still wanted them to be very defensive. So they did lose some HP, partially because number one, just the BST reasons and the stat distribution, but also because I do genuinely, I care a lot about the, like, I try to be pretty, like, obviously there's always going to be exceptions, but I try to base HP more on size, not entirely, because if I was being totally legitimate, this guy would have like 48, 58 base HP, which I could do if I wanted to give him super high SPDF, that'd be kind of cool, but I don't know, I still like him being super tanky on the physical side, and then of course, to make up for that HP loss, Black Sludge now heals. I mean, this is a great buff for literally every single poison type, because poison is my favorite type, outside of bug. I mean, those are my two favorites. Yeah, Black Sludge makes every single poison type like incredible defensively, even frail ones, let alone like tanky ones. These guys don't die, man. They've also got exclusive Baneful Bunker. Pecharunt has that going for them as well. I should probably remove agility just because I don't want any crazy agility Baneful Bunker sweeps. Baneful Bunker going on the yeah, it doesn't fit them that well anyways. Yeah, back on topic, this guy, Baneful Bunker, Black Sludge is incredibly tanky. As for the abilities, so I chose, okay, so first of all, fuck Poison Puppeteer. This shit is ass, man. Confusion is fucking shit. Even in competitive, let alone versus day. I mean, I guess in like DGC you could do some really scummy shit, but dude, fuck Confusion. It's bad. Confusion is a 1 in 3 chance, man. It's just so, I don't like anything that is inherently RNG reliant or inconsistent. I care a lot about consistency, and all options, all Pokemon get tons of consistent options, and most moves are extremely consistent. The vast majority are, and the few that aren't take advantage of buffed wide lens and other stuff. But yeah, there's no room for any bull. No, this is not. No room for this in my ROM hacks, man. I'm sorry. If you like Poison Puppeteer, nah, man, that's just ass. Goodbye. I did give them another soulful ability though, having to do with their whole nature of like puppeteering or mind controlling people, which is Hypnotize. This is incredible because of how bulky they are physically. Again, with that Baneful Bunker too, man, making contact with this thing. You poison them, you take their ability, you heal 1/8 HP, dude. In 2 turns, that's a quarter of your health back. It's so for doing nothing, literally for doing nothing. It's so good. This thing is like so fun utility-wise, and then of course it can be offensive for certain matchups. It's got the speed, it's got the special attack, it's got the decent coverage now, solid, good coverage. I mean, it's all it really needs. It's got the dual stab plus the psychic fighting, grass. I see Eternal Beam because they have like that life force. I see Dazzling Gleam because they have the glowing bits. And they're also a ghost. I see Psychic, again, ghost vibes. Most ghosts get Psychic. Aura Sphere, again, it's a ghost and it's a legendary, fits fine there. Aura Sphere is much more widely distributed in this hack. So I didn't go super ham with the coverage here. But yeah, I mean, grass moves are number one. Tons of ghosts that other guys get Energy Ball and Giga Drain anyways. And then also, Pecharunt is based on a peach. Like it's based on an actual fruit. So it does make sense to learn, I think, these two TMs. But yeah, man, let me not get hung up on the coverage, all right? It's decent. Yes, you can use it offensively. It can do some cool stuff. But I want to talk about the defensive stuff and all the other stuff. Although, again, every single Pokemon in this game is made to be very versatile. And you're supposed to switch between your abilities, your EV spreads, your moves to take full advantage of what your Pokemon can do now. And yeah, Pecharunt's no exception to that rule. So this guy is super cool with Hypnotize. Again, make contact with it. Like, for example, Sharpness, Ruthless, Tough Claws, a bunch of other mostly contact-based boosting abilities. There's more. I just can't think of any. But literally all kind. I mean, go to the new ability guide. All kinds of abilities here are completely negated. Or you can remove them. Reckless, Brazen, tons of moves, right? Just because of the fact that every single Pokemon in this game has 3 good abilities, and I mean literally every single Pokemon. Because of that, being able to turn them off when something makes contact with you was incredible. And then, of course, you can poison them with Baneful Bunker, and that's even more punishment for touching you at all. And you've got that Black Sludge to heal you, so that's super, super dope. You've got Reliable Recovery in Recover, Soul Absorb, and Strength Sap. Soul Absorb is Nightshade, but it heals you the same amount of damage. So that's really good, obviously. It's only 5 PP, but that alone with Black Sludge is incredible. This guy, he doesn't die, man. This guy doesn't die. Its Spadef is, round up the HP to 70. Run up the Spadef to 110. Something with 70, 160, 110 bulk is super, super tanky, right? People sometimes will see the 60s and the, whatever, their brain thinks it's a bad stat because it starts at 6, but that's not how that, 70 HP, 60 HP is very respectable, very solid, especially in-game and especially when your defense stat is so high. So, yeah, this thing's super tanky. It's got tons of great utility. Withdraw gives you +1 defense and special defense. Hypnosis is consistent 2 turns, so if you run that with Wide Lens, that's pretty great. You can use that with Wide Lens, Sludge Wave, and Focus Blast as well. Malignant Chain is consistent, 100% accurate. Always crits, so it's essentially like special Poison Wicked Blow that also toxics. The toxic part isn't that important for the player really at all, but it's cool. But the main use of that is just, either for damage or for Scarf sets, whatever. It's just a good, strong poison move, because your only other one is Sludge Wave, and obviously Sludge Bomb is 95. You got Venoshock with Baneful Bunker, which is great. Dude, Baneful Bunker, Hex, Venoshock, fucking chef's kiss, man. This thing, I love such a cool synergy of abilities and moves. Again, that Hypnotize, Baneful, plus even stuff like Mortal Spin. Removing hazards doesn't really matter in game. Hazards are not really a factor in this ROM hack and in games and ROM hacks in general, unless the creator forces the AI to use hazards, which in my opinion can be decent for some boss fights, especially webs and T-spikes. But rocks, maybe spikes are definitely not good for the AI. Don't get them spikes ever. But maybe a couple gimmicky fights could throw on a stealth rock guy, but it's whatever. It's not that good. It's okay. I also don't like the fact that it inherently punishes certain types of Pokemon. In competitive, obviously, it's a very healthy thing, but in game, I don't like it very much. But yeah, webs and T-spikes will be common. Of course, you're immune to T-spikes and you remove them, so the only one is webs, and I'd rather the player isn't able to cheese webs that much. But yes, with Mortal Spin versus a specific boss fight that uses webs, in theory you could, yes, Mortal Spin them away. But the main use of Mortal Spin is just a debuff and poison. So you basically get -1 attack, special attack, and speed on top of a poison at the same time. I considered giving them shell armor. I might backtrack on it one day, but Wind Powder is so fitting for them, looking at their design, and I also think that Battle Armor kind of overshadows Hypnotize in a lot of ways defensively, and I think Hypnotize is so cool that I don't want it. I think it's way cooler than Battle Armor or Shell Armor, right? So that's the main reason I didn't do that. As for your other 2 abilities, they're abilities that you switch to when you need them, right? So Levitate, not every boss is going to have a ground type move, but when they do, it's obviously very useful. It does technically overlap with Haunter. Gengar doesn't keep Levitate, but Haunter does, but not a big deal in my opinion, because they both function very differently despite being the same type and sharing Levitate. Especially because Levitate is an ability that you switch to. It's not your main ability. And then Wimp Out is the same thing. It's a pivot, right? So you get a free pivot if you need it for that boss fight. It's a very useful tool. Of course, this guy also has Parting Shot and -priority teleport. So you got faster pivot with Parting Shot and debuff, and then you've got that slow pivot with teleport. Tons of other great debuffing moves: Mystical Fire, Dismal Cry, Disarming Voice, and I already covered Mortal Spin. Acid Spray is also great on bulky sets, again with that Baneful Bunker. I can't emphasize how good Baneful Bunker plus Black Sludge is. It's such an exclusive tool, right? Only specific spiky type poison-esque Pokemon can get that. And Protect in general is highly limited in this hack, pretty much gone. And if you're curious as to why that is, you can pause the video and read this, and you can also watch my other videos after and get more explanation. But it's a balancing decision. But yeah, this thing's goated, man. Topsy-Turvy is great utility. Strength Sap is obviously great later on. Spectral Beam is Ghost type Draco Meteor. Astral Storm is Ghost type Special Wicked Blow. Can't be used twice in a row though, unlike Malignant Chain, which is exclusive. Astral Storm is just on most Ghost types, so therefore the drawback, you know, you can't run Choice Scarf for Astral Storm and spam that, but you can spam Malignant Chain because it's an exclusive move, and it's not that, you know, not that strong on other guys. Meanwhile, like another exclusive not Draco, Wicked Blow clone is like Dragon's Blade, for example, which had to be no 2 times in a row purely because of Sceptile, because otherwise he would just be able to click that with literally no drawback, and it's too broken because he's so fast. But this guy isn't as fast, so it's okay. And they're also not as powerful in terms of raw damage output because they don't have a boosting ability for it. Whatever, you get the point. So some of them are no drawback, some of them aren't. Most are no drawback, some are not. For the Wicked Blow variants. It's pretty much it. Nasty Pot's obviously good. No way to boost their speed though, not that I can see. Obviously Mortal Spin lowers the opponent's speed, but that's not the same thing as boosting your actual speed. But overall, I mean, you could even do stuff like a Jetpack Spectral Beam. Spectral Beam, you've got tons of awesome ways you can build Pecharunt. Acid Reflux plus Venice Shock, Baneful Bunker plus Venice Shock, Hex I already covered is incredible. Body Press is obviously pretty good for certain situations, again with that Baneful Bunker. I mean, I love just how stally and like statusy this guy's move pool and like kit that I gave them is. Really cool Pokemon. Sad that it's so meh normally. I mean, it does get, you know, cover and other cool stuff, but I don't know. The stats, they kind of fucked them over with it a little bit, so I had to do them a little more justice with that too. Because it also makes sense, you know, I see them being pretty strong specialties, pretty strong, you know, pretty speedy, you know, they're like a little ghost guy. I can see them moving around like that. So that's really it. Again, totally versatile. You can run it offensively, defensively. That Hypnotize is super, super sick. Flavor-wise, initially this was called Brainwash, but I looked at the list of about 4 to 5 Pokemon that I have planned for this ability, and Hypnotize fit all of them better. I guess Pecharunt Brainwash fits better, but Hypnotize, I mean, it's the same idea, right? You're hypnotizing them into doing the fucking Mochi dance or whatever bullshit, and that shit is so corny. I haven't even finished that DLC, but yeah. Thank you for listening. I'll be back for more videos and stuff coming up. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Encore, I guess, is pretty great. A couple other nice little niche utility things, or like little setup, like fucking, I don't know, Belch Indoor Slackberry is pretty great. Stuff like that, you know. But yeah, Belch giving +1 special attack. That is. I might have to. I've been thinking about it. I might nerf that shit to 80 powered because +1 special attack with Movie Learner and Endure being so easy to use versus it might be kind of broken. So I might have to push that back to 80, which is still great because it's a guaranteed special attack boost and it's early game. It's an early game move and it's a TM, so a lot of shit gets it. If it was a level up move, I'd be like, fuck it, I can just balance it that way. But anyway, this is not supposed to be a fucking Belch video, so I will end it off here. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back for more coming up. Peace.